Today I'll be talking to you about how to work with arrays. To create an array, you must first type its variable type. So I'll just use an integer, followed by the variable name. And because it's an array, you must type 2 square brackets after, and type new, the variable type. And after the variable type, you must tell the computer how many slots your array needs. So I'll use 5 in this case. And that creates an array which stores integers and has 5 slots. Now I'll show you how to initialize the slots in your array. So you start off by typing the array name, followed by square brackets and the slot number. Now since my array has 5 slots, the slots are numbered 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5 is not counted because the computer recognizes 0 as the first slot. So I'll use 3 in this case. And then you just type a random number, and this is very similar to initializing a normal variable. However, the only exception is to use the square brackets to indicate the slot number. To input a value into an array's slot, it's very similar to inputting a value into a normal integer or double variable. So you use number, that's the name of the array, followed by the slot you want to use, and then input int because it's an integer variable, followed by whatever you wanted to output in the terminal. So I'll just say enter number 3. In addition to the input code above, I'll quickly add some code that will output the same slot to make sure that the code above is actually working. If I were to run this program now, I would see in the terminal that it says enter number 3 as I did before. So after I enter a number, say for example 100, it should output 100, and that's what we got. And this shows us that the code is actually working. Say for example, you have an array with 100 slots. Now, you wouldn't be initializing each 100 slots of the array, as it would take too much time and is inefficient. So of course you would want to use a loop. So I'll just make a while loop, but you can use a for loop as well. So I just made an integer called I. So as I is less than 5, and now I'm gonna do the input for the array. So I'll put the number inside as I because I is dynamic and will keep changing as the loop progresses. So this is basically identical to what we did here, except this time it should output 5 times. And after the loop is over, I'll make another while loop. Just make I equal to 0. I is less than 5. Now I'll output all the numbers so that we can see that the code is actually working. Now let's see what happens when we run the program. So now it says enter number 0. Now we know that every array starts with 0 as the computer recognizes 0 as the first slot, But if you wanted the numbers from 1 to 5, you could just add 1 to the calculation so that it would be 1 to 5 instead of 0 to 4. But in this case, in this example, I'll just use 0 to 4 to keep things simple. So now I'll just I'll just input random numbers. And as you see here, you can see that in one array, all these numbers were inputted into different slots, and they were outputted like this as well. That's how you use arrays in Java.